Hello and welcome. I am Logan Justice from PLD Lamplighter, and I'll pass it over to my two other friends and students, Ella and Victoria.
Hi.
Sorry. Go ahead, Ella.
Oh, sorry. I'm Ella Williams. I'm another one of the editors-in-chief at PLD Lamplighter.
And I am another one of our EICs. I'm Victoria Bravo, and I'm very happy to be here with you all this morning.
And today we're joined with Dr. Bernier, and today we're just going to kind of go over a few questions. So the first question that we will ask is, after the past year, education leaders and stakeholders are essentially sitting on an opportunity to redefine what public education looks like. What is one abstract or outside of the box idea you have for Fayette County?
Well, that's a great question. First of all, let me thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, and I'll be brief, but thank you for the opportunity and the links to your website. It has been a pleasure to see and read through your materials, know the history of the Lamplighter. That was phenomenal. And I want to just real quickly mention two things. One is the very professional writing I saw related to the George Floyd case. I found that to be, I think that's a difficult topic to write about and to be balanced and professional. And whoever wrote that article deserves great kudos because they did an amazing job. And then one that just makes me smile is the roundtable that you got invited to, but then couldn't quite get into. And whoever decided they were going to take the picture of the school building as the shot that said, you know, we wanted to get in, but here's what it looked like, but we couldn't get in a word, brilliant, just absolutely brilliant. So just wanted to take the opportunity to say thank you for the opportunity to know a little bit more about the school district from your perspective. Logan, to your question, it's an excellent question. I think that we are sitting on the verge of an opportunity to really redefine public ed and really do some things differently. I know that you have a strong virtual program within within Fayette County Public Schools. And I've led the Orange County Virtual School in my background as well. I think it is an untapped resource. I think it provides flexibility. My background in alternative ed also tells me that not all young people fit into a 7 to 3:30 timeframe. There are young people who face tragedy where a parent is injured and they become a primary caregiver. There are young people who need to work to support their families. I really believe that education can shift its model and really look at being able to serve children and young people and young adults where they are and meet their needs in a flexible manner, meaning in some cases, I've been in charge of programs and helped create where students were employees at Universal at 7 o'clock in the morning at Universal Studios, and then at noon became students. The students who were there in the morning became employees at noon and worked through the afternoon. Those students were being college and career prepared and had opportunities to work at Universal Studios beyond graduation. And I think bringing some of those flexible environments to Fayette and all school districts, we really have an opportunity right now to reimagine and to really deliver a level of service to our students and our community that meets the needs of the young people so that everybody can effectively graduate both college and career ready.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Welcome.
All right, so moving on to the second question. Our previous superintendent was very relatable and was physically present in our schools. Because of this, many of us felt like we knew him and even called him by his first name, Manny. In a time when mental health and relationships are so important, what can students expect from you, and how will you carry on his legacy?
Well, first, let me be very respectful to Dr. Manuel Cott. He's an amazing man, and I said this in my screener. There's great jobs out there, and I want to come to Fayette, but it's hard to follow what I'll refer to as the rock star. It's very, very clear that he was beloved, and the district and the students and the staff are probably still mourning. I believe that's the number one issue that this superintendent, whoever is selected, needs to come in and address. As to my accessibility, there's never been anything more important than being involved with the students. I couldn't sleep last night for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons was the opportunity to engage with young people directly today. I can't tell you how it energizes me to speak and to see your pictures come to life on the website and now be interacting with all of you. I am a very physically present person. I don't believe that you can understand and hear the student voice of a district in a chair in the district office. You have to be present in schools. You have to set up structures to listen and to hear. It doesn't mean that we'll always agree. We may have, I don't think Dr. Kalk always agreed with everything the students had to say from my research, but he did have a very open atmosphere. I'm very much the same educator. If you were to look back at my middle school experiences, my high school experiences with my students, and even my role in alternative ed as an associate superintendent, my first focus in visiting a school was visiting the classrooms, was setting up opportunities to speak to student councils, student governments, to speak to students who don't normally have a voice, and to understand from their perspective what they need. Back to Logan's question, it's where we began to really look at a flexible schedule for some of our older students to make sure that the quality of their education met their personal needs and allowed them to be that caregiver at home and still be successful without having to drop out or take the GED option. I think it's really important that we have those. So I am a very visible person. I have been very visible on my campuses, even here at CCSD, which is the 5th largest district in the country, and I'm the chief of staff of the superintendent. So my primary responsibility is running the shop while he's out doing what Manny did. But I have set aside on my calendar every week an opportunity to visit schools. I'm involved with a specific project that I asked for with the innovative 8 middle schools that allows me to be on middle school campuses on a regular basis, interacting with the students and the staff. And that helps inform me to inform the superintendent as to what his young people are thinking about and talking about. So I know that's my commitment. It's where I've spent my career. And I don't know how you can meet the vision of this school district by putting students first and victory in the classroom and being accountable and collaborative in the decision making without including the student voice in the process.
All right, wonderful. Thank you. Moving on, I will be passing it on to Ella.
Thank you.
Hi, so the third question is, if you had to describe yourself to someone who doesn't know you, aside from your accomplishments and career in education, what would you say?
Oh, that's another wonderful question. I would tell you that I am a positive and thoughtful person. I love my life. I love what I do, and I love my life not only personally but professionally. I believe that life is a journey. There's ups and downs, there's barriers, there's obstacles to be overcome, but every opportunity is a chance to learn and grow. This is another opportunity in this process. This is another opportunity for me to learn and grow about myself, about the greater Fayette community, the city of Lexington. I have visited before. It's an amazing place. I can't imagine another job that would have attracted me like this one does. But I would also tell you that I want you to know that I have very high expectations for myself. I believe in a phrase called exceeding expectation, not just my own expectations, but those of others. I believe that that's the standard that leads to the path to excellence, and excellence is what the 3 of you and all of the young people that you represent deserve. Your system needs to be excellent for you. It's the standard that needs to be there. And I guess what I'd also add is an opportunity to say that my work is grounded in servant leadership, and it goes back to Victoria's question. I believe that a superintendent is a servant. I believe as a principal, I was a servant. I believe as a teacher in the classroom, I was a servant. It was my job to make sure that I met people where they are and that no job was too big or too small that didn't require my attention and didn't require an opportunity for me to step in and show that I would do just about anything. That's included serving lunch lines when the cafeteria ladies were empty, and the cafeteria ladies weren't there. It was cleaning up a school building. I will tell you, I've never driven a bus. I don't think you want me to do that. But I do believe that I'm a committed person. I will always put students first. And I think you'd want to know that I have a great personal relationship with my partner, Deborah, and our 5 adult children. Got 3 grandchildren, one that was born just recently the first week of May. And it was just a great opportunity to use that family unit as my structure to support me. I really believe that this community needs to know that their next superintendent has a vision, but most importantly is committed to the young people of this school district so that we can move the agenda towards excellence and the outcomes that our students deserve.
Thank you. One other question, since we do have a little bit extra time. Um, you talked a lot about kind of excellence and excellent systems. Right now, Kentucky is facing a teacher shortage. So how would you propose or your solution to kind of fixing this issue and bringing in more excellent teachers?
Well, I think it's a great question from the aspect of it's something that we face in Clark. It's not just Kentucky. It's Florida, it's New York, it's Kentucky, it's Las Vegas. We are all facing a national teacher shortage. The number of teachers going into the profession is dropping in the College of Education. Therefore, the output of the colleges is not as robust as it has been in the past. I think it's important for us to partner with our university partners. We're doing that here with the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I did it at the University of Central Florida back in Florida, and I would be thrilled to put on the blue and have the opportunity to work with the University of Kentucky to really look at how do we engage our young people who are considering the option and may feel like they're being called to the profession. How do we support them to get them into the colleges of ed and then bring them to our school base? It may be in a magnet program that really focuses on developing teachers. It may be in the recruitment process. I will tell you that I recruit all the time. It's always something I do. When I had the opportunity to climb the Grand Teton, my guide was a physics teacher in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. The whole way up the mountain, the whole way down. I tried to convince him that he wanted to leave the mountains of Wyoming and come to Florida to teach physics. Because if you've ever heard your principals talk, trying to find a great physics teacher is almost impossible. I didn't win that battle. He's still in Wyoming, still guiding on the Grand Teton. But I think it's important that everybody becomes a recruitment tool. Our students become that, our community becomes that, and we forge partnerships with local universities and outside the state of Kentucky to draw talent in. One last quick one is, I think we also have to look regionally at what competitive salaries look like for educators. I think one of the reasons that some systems lose teachers to other places is they can't keep pace with what the competitive salary is. And sometimes you can lose really great talent just across the border to like a Scott County in Georgetown. You could lose people there because the salary structure is just different enough that they feel like they have a better opportunity. But that's a combined decision with the school board and the community and the teachers union. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought you froze.
Thank you. I think that is all the questions I have. Victoria or Ella, do you have any more?
I think on my end, I'm good as well. Thank you so much for everything, truly.
Yes, thank you. It was such a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well. Do I have an opportunity to ask you any questions, or are you guys on a very tight time frame and have to go? I completely understand.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm interested in the aspect of, when I looked at the survey material, one of the things that the students overwhelmingly said about their next superintendent was it was important that person be a former teacher and a former principal. Why do you believe, if you can tell me, why do you believe that's so important to the student body in Fayette County Public Schools?
I'll go first. I think personally, speaking on my own behalf, I feel that I need someone with experience. I need someone that's going to understand where I'm coming from and understand what I see day to day at school, what I struggle with day to day, and just kind of like my everyday life as a student. So I think that's very important for me. And I don't know about Ella and Logan and the rest of Fayette County, but it's definitely something that I value. Experience is definitely something I value.
I thank you. I don't want to put everybody on the spot, just want to say that. And if I could just close by saying that one thing I want all the stakeholders to know about me is that I'm a person of integrity. Integrity drives everything that I do, because it's the one thing as an educator that I think can't be compromised. If you compromise your integrity, then you can't lead, because people don't trust. And really that's what this decision is going to come down to. It's going to come down to a decision about trust about three very critical issues. And Victoria, I think you've raised an excellent point. The community is going to need to know that the next superintendent can be trusted with the future of the young people. They're going to need to know that this next superintendent can be trusted with the financial responsibilities and be a good steward of the public tax dollar. And they also need to know that the superintendent can work with the community, to Logan's question about teachers, to work with the community, to forge partnerships both with the community and the community forging partners with the school district to help advance those first two, to help advance the students and their educational programming, as well as continue to support the financial needs of the school district. So I look forward to continuing to explore this with other committees. I hope I run into all of you again, maybe on the student committee, where we may be able to explore a little deeper some of the things that I'm chomping at the bit to let the community know about me. So thank you again for the opportunity. And thank you again for the great work you're doing on the Lamplighter. You and your fellow students and your advisor need to be quite proud of what you're accomplishing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for meeting with us today and answering our questions and for everything.
Clearly going to be the highlight of my day. I'll let you know when I get to Kentucky if anything else changed.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful.